Okay, so tell me about your background as a teacher. Can you tell me about years of experience, grade levels you've taught, anything like that?
Yes, this is my 6th year.
Mm-hmm.
I taught, I was a long-term sub for a few months in 6th grade, and then I taught in 3rd grade for 3 years, and then moved up to 5th, and this is my 3rd year in 5th grade.
And what have you enjoyed so far in 5th grade?
I just like the age group. I think it's nice to be able to have conversations with kids. You can rationalize with them a little bit more. They're starting to develop, deeper thinking skills, so it's interesting to see how they see the world and how they see themselves. And it's just a cool age to be with kids. I mean, they have great senses of humor, and their personalities are really starting to come out at this age, I think.
Agreed. What are the biggest challenges for you teaching this age group?
The achievement gaps are a lot bigger the older that they get, and that is really hard with, you have kids who are in a classroom that are anywhere from a 1st, 2nd grade level to a 6th grade level, so that can be kind of hard to manage sometimes.
Definitely. So today, what topic will you be working on, or what objectives are you hoping to accomplish today in math?
We're wrapping up our unit on word problems, and we've really been, as a school and also as a grade level, trying to figure out different ways to assess the kids, to see what they know. So today we're going to give them a 4-question quiz. It's a multiple choice from the county, and then we're also going to start them having them work on a performance task. So it's also about word problems, but it's a little bit more open-ended. We're not going to take the performance task as a grade. We want to see how they go about problem solving, and kind of picking out the kids that don't even know where to start doing it. So that's going to be the second half of the class, is kind of sending them out on their own and then trying to grab at the kids that don't have any clue as to where to take the first step.
So you've been doing word problems all week?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And what so far have you seen that has been successful versus challenging with word problems so far?
I think what's successful is that the kids are able to read the word problem, and they can pick out what type of operation they have to use. But I think that for these multi-step problems, it really throws the kids off, and a lot of times it's not even really about the math skills, it's about the reading skills. And that can be really tricky, especially when you have a high ESOL population. They sometimes don't know the vocabulary involved. Right. So that can be tricky. But getting the kids to stay organized when they're working on a multi-step problem, they get to step 2 and they lose their way. So having them, we've been trying to teach them little ways to, strategies for reading, but also keeping them organized as they're working out the problem has been a bit of a challenge, but we're getting there. But they're doing a lot better.
Good. So you would say the biggest challenge, just to repeat what you said, is the language piece of it. Mm-hmm. So that also goes back to what you were saying with the gap that occurs when you get to 5th grade.
Yes.
How could someone support you with that if you were going to have, or has someone been supporting you and it's just they're taking a long time to fill that gap?
Yeah, I have a special education teacher with me in math every day, so that's great. There are 2 of us in here. So we do the mini lesson, and then we try and get the kids split up as soon as possible. So, I do definitely feel like I have extra support. It's just difficult to get to all the kids that need the help. When you have 12 kids that need support and there's 2 of you, it can be tricky. But sorry, I forgot. You repeat your
That's okay.
question.
I asked if I were a math coach or a specialist, how would I be able to support you if I could be in here?
I think something that we're really working on that has been a challenge for us and for me individually is picking out activities for the kids to do on their own when they're not with a teacher. Things that the kids can access on their own that they don't need support with, but that are meaningful, and that can be tricky because a lot of times, kids want a teacher there. They want somebody there supporting them. So I think that's been our biggest challenge, but also one of the ones that we're really trying to work on is meaningful, authentic activities for the kids to be working on when they're not with a teacher that help support their skills. So that would be helpful, getting more ideas with that.
So then at the end, you're having them do the performance task. And then what are you planning to do with that Like, are you collecting the data on that, or?
Yeah, so we're handing it out, and we actually have a few kids who are on timers. They have to work on something for 5 minutes before they can come to a teacher, like very specific time frame for them to try and work independently.
Right.
So our goal is to first try and target the kids that have no clue where to start with this performance task. And then kind of walking around, we're going to let them work in groups and see just what they come up with. I mean, not even if they have the right answer, but do they have any kind of strategy, any kind of game plan for how to work these problems out. And then after we kind of collect some data on that, anecdotal notes, we're going to be walking around looking at that. Then we're going to bring the kids together, talk about different strategies that they used, and really show them what we're looking for. There's a rubric attached that we're going to give to the kids while they're doing it, so that they know what to look for. So the idea is for them to try it on their own, for us all to do it together, and then they'll see for a performance task what the teachers are really looking for. So that as the year goes on, they can start taking these performance tasks and we can use them as assessments. But it takes a while for them to get used to it. They're used to that multiple choice.
Yeah. So is this the first time you're doing performance tasks?
This is the third time that we've done one. So we're thinking that after the new year that we'll start really putting it more over on the kids. But, you know, they all look very different.
Yeah.
So it can be tricky. But they're getting there. They enjoy them.
Good.
A lot more than the Horizon test.
Oh, I'm sure. And then there's one other question I have for you. So I like that you're having them use strategies on their own. Have you previously taught any strategies for them to approach the word problems?
So we have taught them a few things. We taught them something called the ins and outs strategy. So the ins stands for they write down any important words. The N stands for notes, so any kind of pictures or drawings that they can make, any kind of information. And then the S is for solve, and it kind of helps them keep track. We also taught them what's called a foursquare for fractions. So, you know, just to kind of, again, when they have to convert fractions and decimals and word problems, helping them stay organized with that. And really, we're just pushing them anything that works for them. I mean, we'll show them a few things, but sometimes, you know, graph paper we've used to help them stay organized. So we are pushing this ins and outs so that they can show their thinking and show us if they are not able to come up with something.
And I think especially when there is a big gap like that, you have to stick with a strategy that works, because if the kids don't have a big number sense, it's hard to teach them like tricks.
Right.
Because then they have no meaning behind it.
Right.
All right, well, I'm excited to hear how your lesson goes today.
Yes, I will let you know.
Thanks.